All right, here we go. Welcome back to the channel. It is Paul here, Old Guy Lifts. Today, I wanted to show you a variation that I work into both max effort days, the bench variation day and then the squat variation day. This is a paused band squat. I think I get up to 275 for a double. So you see the little toolbox down there? That's, I want to say 11 and a half inches off the ground, which is pretty low. So I'm getting all the way down there. I touch that. And then the bands. These are Monster Mini bands I got from Elite FTS, which is Dave Tate's business out there in Ohio. Dave Tate, formerly of Westside Barbell. He's been doing his own thing for over 10 years now. Some of the best equipment in the game. I have one of his power bars. I love it. I get my bands exclusively from him and his company, Elite FTS. And I'm not gonna put a link in the description yet, but I'll eventually do that for everybody because I want to get this video out there. And what this does is gives you a variation in which you add tension. There's obviously higher tension at the top. I just have two Monster Mini bands attached to you see the safety pins in here. So you've got about another 30 or 40 pounds at the top. Now they're completely slack at the bottom, which is good because that's the most disadvantageous mechanical position in the squat coming out of the hole. So it allows me to load up the bar with a moderate amount of weight. Again, I want to say 275 might be the top set here for a double. But on the way up, you got a lot more tension as you go up. So as your knees and your hips attain a mechanically advantageous position, the tension goes up, and it's a different kind of tension. Band tension feels pretty different than gravitational tension, gravitational force, which is what you get with free weight. So this can hit you pretty hard if you're not careful. So I like to do these for stretches of about 3 weeks at a time. But it's a fantastic variation. It hits your muscles differently, a little bit more intensely. And the pause, of course, really increases the time under tension. The box keeps you honest. Make sure you're getting all the way down there to as far as you can comfortably and safely go. So that's what this workout is all about. Here, we're up to 250. I want to say I do two doubles here. And you can kind of see what happens. The first rep, you really have to adjust to the bands. They really pull you into position. And notice the bar, the band is just about perfectly vertical, which is where you want it to be. Straight down, straight up. Not bad. Low back always flat. Religious about that. Long pause. So when you do reps like this, you don't need many to make an inroad, a neurological or muscular inroad, to force an adaptation. So I did three. I was actually thinking about, I clipped this off when I edited it, but I was thinking about a second double with the 275, but I didn't want to push it. You don't need it on top of the one double that you'll see here. I'd had enough, and this is essentially a third squat session this week. So that's a lot of squatting when you're going heavier and doing a Westside system. Westside does conjugate method, as Louis Simmons lays it out, is 2 lower body, 2 upper body every week. So I'm cheating here, I'm modifying it, and of course everybody who's experienced kind of does their own thing in the gym. Here's the second set. Boy, that's a decent pause. So imagine working with this weight for a few weeks, laying off it for at least 3 weeks, 3 to 6 weeks even, and then coming back to it and trying to add 10 pounds to that squat. Make it 265, maybe even 275. Here's the 275. This is definitely harder, as it should be, right? So that's 275, and just to unrack the bar, another thing I love about this is it has been said, I don't know if it's been proven, maybe, at least anecdotally, possibly scientifically, that overloading the bar and just doing walkouts with more weight than you can actually perform a rep for, whether it's a bench or I guess a walkout would be a squat, charges up the central nervous system and it can actually hammer it. But if you do it rarely, it's like doing static reps, straight up and down that band, 275. See the dime on the end. And again, form is king here. As you age, as your training age goes up, even if you're younger, if you're under 40, but you've been training since you were a teen, nearly continuously, you've got almost 20 years under your belt. You really, the repetitive stress stuff can really get you, and that's another reason variety's good here. And that's something Louis Simmons says as well. He'll do max effort stuff, but he'll rotate exercises every week. Pardon me. Damn. So that's what I do. And whenever I do a heavy movement for just a few reps, so I got really 6 working reps there. You saw, I think 250, and I did a double, 165, maybe a double or triple, I don't remember. But really 6 working reps, and I felt it. So I'm doing 2 sets of Romanian deadlifts, and this is where I get my volume from the RDLs and from the good mornings. I think those are about the 2 best exercises that work for me. You got to find out what works for you in terms of adding volume to the posterior chain that provide the greatest overlap for deadlifting and squatting. When you hit your low back, when you hit your glutes and your hamstrings, it doesn't really hit the abductors much like the squat does, but everything else is hammered here pretty good. But again, with volume, you get a little more hypertrophy that way, or a lot more. You don't hammer your nervous system so much, but again, just building volume in a movement that transfers well to your main movements. And again, we're doing this for practical strength. This is to bend over and pick up a kid, or 2 or 3 bags of groceries at once, or unloading your truck, or working on the job. I was a waiter for a long time, and I'm probably going to go back to that very soon. Lifting up football trays, hoisting them over your shoulder, although I haven't had many jobs that have done that. I know it's still done. If you're a mechanic, you're moving big parts around that are 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds. If you have some sort of high stress job, or even low stress, but it's daily construction, just moving around heavy stuff all day long, man, your job's going to be a lot easier if you build up some strength. And the older you get, the more you got to be committed to this. I think this is 2 1/4. And that's it. So 2 movements, 2 sets for volume of 12 reps, I think, each. So 24 reps of volume of the RDL. And again, we're hitting this with frequency and intensity and regulating both, and sort of playing them off each other. So there you go. Box squats paused, long pause with bands, and some RDLs to back it up. That's the session. Thanks for checking in. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Let me know what you're into in terms of band training, if you've done before or not, and I can do more videos on that. I'll see you all next time. Thank you again.